Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor. Today we are presenting a video that I'm super excited about. We actually haven't done a video like this in a long time, and I certainly haven't done one that's this specific ever. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite Hispanic restaurants in Austin and the Austin area. I will say, of course, Texas is right there on the border of Mexico, so we have tons of Mexican food and lots of Tex-Mex, but because there is so much of it, I tried to look for places that represented countries further south, in South and Central America as well. So stay tuned. I loved making this video. It's super fun. It's very close to my heart, and I hope that you learn something new about Austin. Before I jump in, I want to share a little bit of history about myself. I was actually born in Peru. My father is Peruvian, my mom is American, and I grew up speaking Spanish. Spanish is my first language. My parents got a divorce when I was about 6 years old, and when they got divorced, my mom and I actually ended up moving to Minnesota, where she is from originally, from Peru. It was a massive culture shock. Anybody that's moved to the US from another country, if you're watching this, leave a comment. I want to know what some of your culture shock moments were and what they were like. When I came to Austin about 13 years ago for the first time, I loved the fact that there was such a strong Hispanic influence. Of course, we share basically a border with Mexico, and if you go to San Antonio, there's even more of it there. But for me, in general, it felt like home, and it reminded me a lot of the Latin culture that I grew up in. So that's my story, and that's why I'm so excited to give you my top ranked Hispanic restaurants in Austin. Let's go. Also, I just want to mention that none of these are in any particular order. I'm just throwing them out as they come to me. Spot number 1 is Taquero Mucho by The Domain. It's a play on words from Taquero Mucho, which means I love you so much, and taquero, like tacos, like taquero, that's how it's spelled. Here, take a look at the sign. Isn't it cute? This is actually the second Taquero Mucho that there is in Austin. There is one downtown, which we featured in a video last year, and this one is new. One of the main reasons I like Taquero Mucho so much, and I think it's so cool as a concept, is yes, it's cute and it's pink and it's perfect for Instagram. However, I really admire the owner. Her name is Gabriela Bucio, I think that's how you pronounce it. She is a Mexican woman, and she is the co-owner of the Taquero Mucho restaurants. She actually has several other restaurants throughout Austin, and she also runs several Hispanic bars and like Latino and reggaeton nights throughout downtown Austin. She started off as a DJ, and she spins some sick music. She knows how to throw a party, and she knows how to run a business and grow it. It's really impressive what she's done. I've been following her on Instagram for a while now, and she is 100% herself. She is absolutely a boss. She has embraced her Latin roots and run with it, and she's built something really, really cool and very unique. And I think we are very lucky to have her in Austin. I hope Gabriela ends up opening more restaurants, more Hispanic inspired restaurants that are also cute and just a really good representation for the community. Spot number 2 on my list is Inca Chicken. It's so cute. Inca Chicken, here's what you need to know. In Peru, they eat a lot of rotisserie chicken, but it's not just normal rotisserie chicken that we can get at H-E-B here. It's called pollo a la brasa. They have just a different way of making it than we do here. In Peru, they use different seasonings, and it's probably roasted a little bit slower, and then they serve it with French fries, so they call that pollito con papas. If you actually go to a Peruvian restaurant, you can get a whole pollo, a whole chicken that's like this big, and like all the papitas, all the French fries you want, that it's like a mountain of papitas. It's so good. Anyway, this restaurant that I'm telling you about, Inca Chicken, has pollo a la brasa in Austin. I will say it's not exactly like the pollo a la brasa that we eat in Peru, but it's pretty close, and it's very satisfying, and it is so good. This is the type of restaurant that you drive by and you'll probably miss it unless you're looking for it, but it is incredibly popular because the type of food that they have is so good. They have pollo a la brasa, they have papitas fritas, they have arroz verde, which is a type of rice that's made with cilantro. It's very Peruvian, it's delicious. They have yuca fries. They even have Inca Cola, which is a soda that they drink in Peru exclusively. There's so many good things in there, and it's incredibly popular. I have gone there a couple of times closer to their closing hours, and they'll be out of chicken. So if I'm going at night, I usually call to see if they still have chicken or if they've run out, because a lot of times they do run out. So if you want to go to Inca Chicken at night, call them to make sure that they have chicken for you. Native tip, If you want to call Inca Chicken and see if they have chicken available, you pick up your phone and say, ¿Tienen pollito? Which means, do you have chicken? Don't actually do that, it's kind of dumb, but now you know how to say, do you have chicken? The third spot that I'm going to share with you today is called El Secreto De La Abuela. We just pulled up to this, I feel like highly underrated little Mexican restaurant on the east side of Austin off of Airport Boulevard. It is called El Secreto De La Abuela, which translates to the grandmother's secret. I don't know what her secret might be, but this place is fantastic. A couple of things I really like about it. Number one are the location. Like I mentioned, it's on the east side and it's close to a ton of stuff on the east side and then super close to downtown, which is cool. Also, the restaurant itself is this flavorful little structure right here on the east side. And I really love that they've just kept the integrity of what the restaurant was when it originally opened. I don't even know when it opened, but it's been here for a long time. It hasn't changed with the rest of the east side, which is really cool. They're like standing their ground as far as like the style of the restaurant and like who they are culturally, and I love that. Another thing that of course makes this place so great is the straight up quality of the food. They have really good food here. Everything is fresh, everything is made in-house, the portions are really good, and it's all priced very affordably. Also, when you enter, it actually feels like you're in parts of Mexico. You walk in, they greet you in Spanish. I've never had a server here that speaks to me in English. It's always been a Spanish transaction. I'm sure they do speak English though. I've heard them talk on the phone. It's very authentic feeling, and it's almost like a tiny little vacation away for just like a second if you're trying to go to Mexico for like an hour. The first time I heard about this restaurant actually was from my cousin who lives in Peru. My cousin Jorge was actually visiting me here in Austin, and one day he's like, hey, my friends that live in Mexico said that we need to try out this restaurant called El Secreto De La Abuela. Can you take me? I was like, yeah, sure. For somebody from South America to have recommendations from Mexican friends to go to this restaurant in Austin is a very good sign. It is very authentic and it is delicious. We were just in the east side at El Secreto de la Abuela. I'm gonna stay kind of in that neighborhood. I'm going to tell you about my next favorite Hispanic restaurant that is also in the east side, Casa Colombia. Or if you say it in English, Colombian House or Casa Colombia. I think that's how you pronounce it incorrectly. As the name would suggest, they have almost exclusively Colombian food. However, they do have food from other parts of South and Central America. I've seen a couple of Peruvian dishes on there, and then I've also seen some things from Central America, like fried plantains, rice and beans, that kind of stuff that's more local to the island countries, if you will. I pulled up the menu at Casa Colombia and I found my favoriteest dish there. It is called picada colombiana. I'm just gonna read you the description. It's an assorted basket filled with fried beef, chicken, chorizo, chicharrón, plantains, and Colombian potatoes. So the plate of picada colombiana is a basket that's about this big, and it comes with little chunks of fried meat and little fried potatoes. It's a kind of plate that I think people get to share, to just take a couple picada. Picada means just like a little bite, like a to pick at, little snacky snack, but you will eat the whole entire thing. Be ready, be ready. It's no joke, it is so good. Of course, that's just one thing on the menu that they have. However, I recommend that you go for yourself and support a local business, see what it's about, and find your own favorite dish. Also, if you are watching and you've been to any of these restaurants, leave a comment. I wanna see what your favorite dishes are at these spots. We have reached number 5. I'm going to share with you my final favorite Hispanic restaurant in the Austin area. And like I said, these are not really in any particular order. I'm just kind of throwing them out as they come to mind. The last one is another Peruvian restaurant, surprise, which is located in Round Rock, and it is called Brasas Peruanas, or in English, Brasas Peruanas. Is that how you say it? I really like this little restaurant for a couple of reasons. It's small, it's independently owned, it's in downtown Round Rock, which is adorable. I've actually done tons of videos on Round Rock, and we featured the downtown area as well if you want to check those out. And it is located next to Round Rock Donuts. So the location is really great. It's a type of thing where you can make like a little trip out of it. You can go to the restaurant, you can get your Peruvian food, and then afterwards for dessert, you can go grab a donut and then walk around downtown Round Rock. This restaurant is pretty special, I think, because up until recently, there really weren't many Peruvian restaurants in Austin. There was one for a very long time, and then there was a food trailer, which is also a Peruvian restaurant, which is pretty good. But one of my Peruvian girlfriends actually told me about Brasas Peruanas, and it was completely unexpected for me to see where it was located, and then just the fact that they have such a full menu. I do want to point out the fact that that Brasas Peruanas is very different from Inca Chicken. Inca Chicken does chicken, and Brasas Peruanas has a very full menu that is absolutely filled with all sorts of Peruvian food. I'm actually looking at it right now, and they've got like 9 different types of Peruvian sandwiches. They've got an assortment of about 16 different seafood plates, which are very commonly eaten in Peru. They have 9 different soups. Peruvians love soup. And then I would say there's at least 30 different other typical Peruvian plates. Wow. So there is quite a bit of variety. You might say that my point of view for these top restaurants is a little bit biased, and it absolutely is, but I know what's good. However, if there's other Hispanic restaurants that you really like in the Austin area, please leave a comment. I know that there are tons, and I obviously missed most of them because these are just the ones I like, but I wanna hear what other ones you guys go to, so please leave a comment. So that's it, you guys. That is what I have for you on the top Hispanic restaurants in the Austin area. Like I said, kind of a biased list, but whatever, I like what I like. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're thinking of buying a home or selling a home here in the Austin area, feel free to reach out. Here's my contact information. I really love hearing from you guys, and I especially like working with clients that find me through YouTube. You guys have been so great to work with, and it's always so much fun. Thanks again for watching. Till next time.
I'll be here when things go south. We can take our time just to figure it out.